Live, love Africa. What's your excuse for not coming? Please subscribe.
Hi, my name is Terry. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a disorganized video, but I'm hoping that it turns out successful. This video is dedicated to the person of Dynast Amir. Let me type on the screen. In case you did not know Dynast Amir, he has a channel on YouTube with more than 1,300 videos. On his channel, he has featured perhaps as many as 50 unique individuals. Uh, a very amazing channel altogether. Um, I'm sorry, I'm very poor when it comes to multitasking. I'm looking for how to type on the screen. I wanted to type his name, the name of his channel, so that you can search. And if you're new to this, to Dynast Amir, you can have a premise for understanding this video. Basically, in this video, I'm going to be touching on 10 things that Dynast Amir does not know about himself. I'm becoming predictive to an extent, but with a measure of conclusion. I've paid attention to the person of Dynast over the course of more than 1,300 videos, and tapped into the expanse of his mind's eye, his very elements, and I come to these fun conclusions. Nothing of this is pre-rehearsed. None of the points that I will highlight today are pre-written. I'm going to ponder on the spot. Apply of my person, my spirit, and my being. Invest it in paying attention once again to the person of Dynast, and then I'll come up with these 10 bullet points. Where I'm able to reach the magic number 10, I'll consider that breakthrough and celebrate it in my small way. Altogether, I'm hoping that it manages to inspire Dynast in case it comes across this video, and manages to inspire you who sees this video. So Dynast is the person of interest today. We will be celebrating him. Again, let me type his name, then we'll go ahead and start. I'll try my best to keep this video short. Most of the videos I do turn out 1 hour long. So let's see how well I'll fare with keeping this video short. So let's start with typing his name on the screen. The name of his channel is Search for Uhuru, but his name is Dynast Amir. So this is the name of his channel. Let's see. So just type Search for Uhuru on YouTube and you will come across his channel. His name is Dynast Amir. This channel has more than 1,000 videos covering travels. His very evolution. It's clear to see on his channel up to 1,000 videos. Covering his travels across the African continent. So many interviews with Africans in the diaspora. So many discussions and conversations surrounding world issues and all that. So go enjoy his channel. Underneath in the description, you will find a link to his channel upon which you can subscribe. So let's proceed. 10 things that Dynast did not know about himself. There's a possibility that he may, anyway, let's just start. Altogether, I'm hoping that this manages to inspire him. So I'm going to be writing the bullet points on the screen, to make this video more conversational and all that. Where you want to give suggestions, leave a comment. Where you want to bash me or tackle my notions, please leave a comment as well. So first bullet point. Let's see. Okay, let me clear this. I apologize. I'm very poor with with multitasking. So Dynast Amir. Okay, let's start on a very simple, fun note. So I'm typing right now the first point. Uh, I apologize. My thought process is scrappy at this point. Oh gosh. I just hope I come across well. So let's start with this simple, fun one. So, number one, he especially loves African food, but he cannot pinpoint exactly why. I want to start with a fun note so that I can exercise, warm up my brain and my memory lane just a bit. So basically, he especially loves African food, but he can't pinpoint exactly why. We all know Dynast Amir loves food in general. He's very good as a food taster. He has those unique orgasmic looking expressions when it comes to food tasting. It's almost as if, every food is bound to be tasty according to his palate. In very rare cases, you would hear dynasts say that this food is terrible. Recently, one time he tasted food in Liberia with an African that has lived in diaspora. I can't remember her name, and I can't remember what the food entailed, but it's a likely bitter food. I'm not very sure. It had a local name. I can't remember the name, but he confessed for amongst the first times, of his dislike for that particular dish. But up to 90%, Diners loves especially African food. But the key note here is he cannot pinpoint exactly why. Words are weak when it comes to, pinpointing, what edge the African cooking has. You wonder if it's about the texture of the food, the organic nature of the food itself, or the hands that made the food. So this is food for thought. May I, by this means, trigger something in you so that you can ponder. Perhaps over time, the course of time, you'll be able to explain why. But there are dynamics surrounding the African food that is quite spiritual in nature. You know, when you eat this food, the food carries swag, and swag is not something you can act. It's something that has to do with depth, stories, and histories. Hustle and grind. Unique breeds of this hustle and grind. And that is what comes about when you taste African food. Beyond the superficial aspect, like the organic nature of the food and all that. The hands that made it, the spirit here that was invested into the making of this food, the tender love, but proven love. Not those weak superficial love that constitutes only of a feeling. You know, if she wants to take care of you and puts her entirety into that cooking, you will lick your plate. This is no joke. This is no joke. And diners will know these things. Diners likes to go cultural, likes to go to the local places, the nooks and crannies of Africa, instead of those classy restaurants. Diners knows what's up when it comes to Africa. And it's no coincidence that the food in those places, as dirty or dusty looking as those places may look, you has more aura, more presence, more swag than the foods you will find in the restaurants. Even right there in Africa, there's a disparity. Yeah, so that's one. Let's keep it short. This is just food for thought, but may trigger further discussion. But that's it. There's something about the African food, and it is true. It is true. And if you know how to explore your senses when taking on this food, you may even be able to tell of the people just by eating this food. I was in Thailand recently, and I tasted the food. and immediately I can write an entire publication with perhaps 70% of predictability of the nature of the people of Thailand. It's no coincidence. Anyway, let's proceed. Number two, we'll try to keep this short. Number two, let's hasten up. Number two, number two, number two. Hmm, number two. Let's keep it like this. A bit deep, but let's just go for it. Number two. He doesn't yet. Gosh, a typo. Let me edit this. Just a moment. Doesn't yet know. So let's see. He doesn't yet know in entirety what an African woman entails. He doesn't yet know in entirety what an African woman entails. It's very obvious, Dynast loves women, for what they represent. He loves their companionship. I saw one aspect of Dynast recently in a video where he talked with, Eat, Love, Migrate, and, he came out just a bit. But I see him all along, with most of his videos. Now, we're not talking of women in terms of, boyfriend, girlfriend. Those are kid stuff, according to me. I'm not talking of that. I'm talking of just women, what they represent, their companionship, their power. Now, all with his travels in Africa, I'm sure he has come across many women. I've seen many of them in his interviews. And it's very easy to see these women, superficially. Perhaps you go deep a bit, but not really deep. These women have other things that they constitute besides what is, superficially seen. Some spiritual side, some other power. It does exist. This is not, courtesy of any religion. Of these are dynamics that exist in the making of Africans. In reality, whatever is in Africa is greatness. It's not skyscrapers or luxury building, you know. And, there may be a mistaken notion that some women are there for you, on the, courtesy of the fact that you are from the diaspora and longing for a possibility for citizenship and all that. Yes, that possibility exists, but uh, other possibilities exist too. Women there, they have insight, foresight. They can see stuff. A woman, regardless of how raggedy you are, they can stick with you. This any Ferrari boy on day one because they have foreseen, where you're headed. The vision within your dream, they have foreseen. You've not seen these things, they have seen it. And testimonies to this, it's beyond the superficial. The womanhood there is beyond the superficial. And yes, they have power. Power is very possible in Africa that you meet a woman and she's, she invests her being and her spirit in your breakthrough, and just courtesy of meeting her alone, and doors open, doors open. Very possible. And it's also possible that you meet a woman and falls happen. Anyway, I won't go too much into these details, but Dynast is someone who will be able to place. He may be placing these things at the moment, but have not become established about these things and may need direction. So that's it. Number two. Uh, that's number two. Number three. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, this is number three. So, yes, there's something in Nigeria. You don't know yet just how much. Hmm. You know, Dynast loves Nigeria. It's no coincidence that he chose Nigeria. He speaks of Nigeria a lot. Now, I'm not coming around with this in, you know, on the premise that a particular location, African location, is better than the others. No. According to me, nations are merely locations. And just being realistic here and saying that there is something in Nigeria, yes. It doesn't exist anywhere. Nigeria in itself is a case study. USA is a case study. Nigeria is another case study. You know, you have insight into these two worlds. You can take on the entire world. Nigeria is a case study on its own. And yes, there is something in Nigeria. You may not feel it right now as much as you may have felt it years ago because the generation, especially this coming generation, that's why Dynast has a very big role to play, is losing it. You know, the current generation very soon will become outer space like, you know, the real down to earth is in Nigeria and rare intel lies there. Greatness. You know, there's a rarity in the great men industry today. And this rarity is as a result of knowledge that is not balanced. Mostly what we have in the world is outer space knowledge. In those nooks and crannies of Nigeria, those down to earth spaces, there's rare intel there. And this is tangible to the collective evolution of the world, needs a revelation. That's why I celebrate Dynast when he goes to these places, you know, mingle, lives as an African. You know, there's power to that. You know, there's a unique breed of evolution involved. You know, there's a special kind of hustle that only great people can take those routes. This is just reality. This is no joke. And it's not like anywhere in Africa, no other place. Now we're talking of the world. No place in the world is like that Nigeria that you're talking about. No place in the world. It's a case study. You know, amidst all the hustle, the greatness lies there. Greatness lies there. You know, amidst all the, oh, this person is dubious, all this, it's still untradeable. The stories and histories that emanate from those places, you know, even though it comes with extreme hustle, jungle, and all that, is celebratable, untradeable. You know, because the knowledge there is unwordable. The words of today are so weak, you know, in terms of who wrote those words, who wrote the books in reality. The knowledge contained in the notebooks is right there in Africa and especially in Nigeria. You know, the books are weak. You know, take broken English for example, the one you know coming out of Nigeria and break it, you'll see how complex it is in comparison to even English. Take the Yoruba language. That is one language that you can learn in passing. You never pop the question, uh, what is the meaning of this? And it will enter you. It's no coincidence. It's no coincidence. You know, there's so much powerful stuff there. And I'm sure Dynast realizes this. Now we're not talking of knowledge base. You know, the world as a whole, it's what is hyped is, you know, amassing knowledge, amassing talent, you know, and this aspect of human is overly hyped, you know, so that the world becomes a marketplace, each human a client. But there's other aspects of humans that is never evolved, you know, in a bid to pursue this knowledge, you know, talent, luxury, climb a career ladder. There are other aspects of human that is not evolved. This is what Africa brings out of you. You know, it helps you evolve these other aspects of human, your mentality, self-sacrifice, gosh, and then you become powerful. You have insights into the painted world and insight into the real world. Your knowledge becomes balanced. Of course, on media, the school curriculums, you can gain insights into the state of the world, the painted world. You know, However, a Mark Zuckerberg, a Bill Gates, or whoever cannot grasp things that occur in this African locations. So when you explore this other knowledge and power, you have an edge. Anyway, let's not go into too much discussion. 20 minutes already. Number 4. When I'm able to reach 10, that will be something I'll celebrate, and that's I hope that Dynast celebrates it. I mean, that's a random person currently located in the Philippines is able to find out 10 gems related to him. So number 4. All right, number 4. Let's see. Let's keep number 4 simple but powerful. He has maintained his human. Now, this is something very powerful, a very powerful virtue of Dynast Amir, and I'm hoping that continues in this manner. He has maintained his human. He has, done the white collar job, or he has done that, rat race stuff, climb a career ladder. He has amassed knowledge. He's very knowledgeable. Perhaps he has funds, financial means for livelihood and all that. He lives in America, but he has maintained his human. He has a platform with many followers, accolades, adulation, but he has maintained his human. This is very obvious. It's evident to see when you look at some 1,000 videos. Across these videos, you see even his reaction to stimuli. He has maintained human. Amidst all the geekiness, he has not, you know, taken up the mantle of godship or godhood. That's what the world does today. Become unreachable, inhuman, and that's very beautiful. Dynast as very beautiful. It's nice to see Dynast in Africa mingling. Being African. Gosh, that's a beauty sight. It's not new that people go to Africa, but most people never leave Africa. Never leave. I mean, Live, Africa. They go there, be posh, isolate themselves, and maintain that luxury life. It's possible to maintain and sustain that in Africa, to some extent, and work with heirs of something like that. But Dynast mingles, um, shares the same plate. Um, Even when he's not in Africa, you see him in his approach when it comes to his interviews. Uh, uh, anyway, that is established. This is plain to see. So we'll go to number 5. Uh, this is another beautiful quality of Dynast. This quality alone has elements of greatness. People bash him for this, however, because it's against the norms. Again, there's a rarity in the great men industry. Once you're en route to greatness, you become odd or weird. According to me, he has allowed room for evolution, and this has shown in his journey. I know where Dynast started with his video, and I see evolution. Sometimes people bash him for taking on different views, exploring different religions or insights when it comes to his African journey and all that. Well, this is not encouraged for everyone. Only certain people can take this route, depending on the substance of your being, how solid and deeply rooted it is, how unshakable is your substance. Then you can take the possession of certain human virtues necessary for not swaying from your identity in the face of circumstance or cultures or so it's not recommended for everyone, but Dynast takes on this route. He explores, he ponders, he asks questions. He doesn't bash, automatically have a limited or enclosed mindset which regards to other people's view. He's able to mingle, relate with them in a bid to learn, to ponder, to question his own ideals and evolve it. There's elements of greatness there. Even in the face of all his accomplishments, he still allows room for evolution. That tells a lot on its own. Number six, and this is something to celebrate, Diners. In case you're seeing this, we celebrate this, continue in this manner and all that. Number six, let's see, number six, Dynast Amir. So Dynast has been to many African countries. It started out in Tanzania. I'm just thinking, I'm just trying to recall some of the things I've seen on him so I can generate number six. Number six, Tanzania. Yes, let's go number six. Let's see. Number six. Let's just keep it simple and say Yoruba is a very special language. It has more power than you know. There are many times I've looked at Yoruba. There's many times I've looked at Yoruba. It baffles me. How Yoruba managed to get into me. I lived. I don't know how that happened. And sometimes when I listen to the Yoruba language, I see so much power, so much that is missing from. There's something to that language. I don't know how it was, you know, conceptualized or formed. I don't know, but the dynamics of that language. It has so much human element, but we're not talking. We're talking deep spiritual elements. I'm telling you the truth. Yoruba has so much context, and today in today's world, for example, English, which is very popular, is more about fanciful words. That's the selling point of the world as a whole. They use buzzwords and put people in a trance. Fanciful buzzwords and then make it trends and hashtags and all that. Words are weak in today's world. But Yoruba manages to keep something called context. When it comes to words, so much context to Yoruba, so much innovativity allowed in Yoruba, so much evolution. I don't know. There's something there. Maybe you can look into it since and someone who doesn't read. I stopped reading in a bid to write the notebooks. So I created an entire school called Legitimate Literacy, and I'm, writing out the curriculum for this school, drawing information from the down to earth. But since Dynast is always researching knowledge, you may want to look into that more closely. You'll be baffled at how very soon you'll be able to speak Yoruba. It's no coincidence. There are many tribes in Lagos, for example, and they pick up Yoruba. It's hard to see a Yoruba person pick up Igbo or pick up Hausa. But if you find a Hausa person or Igbo person in Lagos, for example, they will pick up Yoruba without knowing it. It has those elements, swag, human value. The creation of the language, you see that it took human evolution to create response to stimuli, scenarios. There's so much I wonder. I wish you find out about that. Love to see you speaking Yoruba and all that. Again, this is not to create, tension amongst me. According to me, nations are merely locations. So this is just a message to um, Dynast. I know that he knows that Yoruba is a special language, but maybe not to the full blown extent of this power. So that is my point. Something that he didn't know about himself. You know. So number seven. Let's see. Number seven. Number seven. For this one, his role in Africa is grander than he knows. For this one, I may not be able to expatiate on this because that will form for a very long dialogue or something. I'm hoping that Dynast can give me opportunity to have a casual conversation with him on this subject. It's a very interesting subject, Dynast has been, traveling Africa, living in Africa, and all that over the course of time. He's searching for Uhuru and all that, establishing his purpose and all that. But his mission in Africa is grander than he knows. It's very deep stuff. I'm telling you, the paradigms in the world is shifting. Technology, innovation, all these fanciful things that make up the painted world is attaining a limit, a peak. Very soon, people will start to return down to earth, down to the nooks and crannies of Africa. It's already happening. Beyond resources and all that, they will go there to seek greatness. I saw him talking with Cash. I can't remember his name, Cash, in an earlier video today in the car, and they talked about resources, that lie in Africa. And beyond, those are not the most powerful things in Africa. But Dynast is going to establish this. He has the capabilities, in his being, in his person to establish these things. And I'm sure of this based on what I've seen, yes. So I'm not going to expatiate further on this. I'm hoping that if Dynast sees this, we can have a conversation. I'd like to be on a live stream on your channel or a live stream on Uloggers TV. That's something I'll celebrate. So that is number seven. Number eight. I'm glad I'm reaching number 10 very gradually. That's amazing. Number eight. Let's keep it simple. Let's just keep it simple for number eight. So this is number eight. When he shares his growing platform with myriads, he is doing more than he knows. That's a celebratory quality of Dynast. He's inclusive. He isn't hoarding his gifts and his returns and all that. He shares his platform. I may have seen up to 50 people on his platform, unique people. And he's doing more than he knows. Ordinarily, you may look at it, oh, another interview, another face on my channel. But the things he's doing just with that act alone is intense. It's about generations yet born. Establishment for them that we were here. We did the grind on their behalf. These things are very grand things, and just what's popular. On his channel alone, I gained further insight into the true state of the world. On that channel, that was CCTV into the true state of the world. And this is possible because of, this span of different minds that he features on his channel. I've been in isolation for years, and on his channel, there's just so much to see. And again, the true state of the world is not the painted state of the world. On those live streams, people react to stimuli. People are in a state of evolution, spiritual, basically. And that's powerful in itself, where people are together and meeting spirits in unison, that becomes very powerful, more than just a show. Let's blur some of these pains and, go in deep, you know, these other aspects, tenets of humans exist. Walk the room, let it halt because you walked in and your presence filled it. Give someone a warm handshake and it feels the power, your spirit. What's a high five? These things exist. Pat on the back, with all intention, with all investment, with a prayer, and the person rises from any rubble and takes on mountains of odds. These things exist. It may not exist in the world that is narrated out there, but it exists. So it's very powerful things what Dynast is doing with this platform more than he knows. More than he knows. Just very beautiful. It's a gift to the world. A gift. It helps blur some of the pains in the world. Very beautiful. Thank you, Dynast, for that. And altogether, it tells you of his person. He's willing to share. This thing is a rarity today. You see people on YouTube, once they have like 50,000 followers, they become small gods. Untouchable, unreachable, unapproachable. And you started out with a journey. I mean, I wonder what I would do if I had a platform, growing platform. Why wouldn't I, give other people as much limelight as I can, add to their limelight? So kudos to Dynast for doing that. Thank you very much. Number 9. Let's see. So Dynast is a king or a prince. Um, let's see. He has been to Tanzania. I can't remember if I've seen Dynast in Ethiopia. Maybe that is Bomani. Just a moment. Dynast. I've seen him with the foods, the hotel. I've seen him in Abidjan. So that's yes. Just a moment. I apologize. Now I'm getting to 9 and it's becoming uphill. Gosh. Um, just a moment. Oh gosh. Let's go like this. Let's keep it. So, number 9, a large measure of his beauty lies in the expanse of his mind's eye. Yes, it is true that, Dynast has amassed knowledge. It's not easy to retain all the knowledge he has from the books he has read, from the people that he has come across, and, the directional conversations he has garnered and all that, but amidst all this, where his beauty lies is in the expanse of his mind's eye. This I see mostly when he reacts to stimuli, when he provokes his thoughts during conversations, in the kind of question that he poses. Questions that, yes, what I mean is this. There is innate knowledge innate to particular individuals, even unknown to these individuals. and that knowledge is tangible to the collective evolution of the world. It takes a tactful conversation person, someone with broad expanse in his mind to be able to erupt or resuscitate and trigger out that information. And this is some of the things I see when it comes to Dynast. The expanse of his mind's eye. It's a large expanse there. I saw him in his interview with Shegun, Fella's son, with the guy from, I can't remember that French country, maybe Senegal. One popular person like that is into, I can't remember the person, but many interviews, and you see, besides, display of knowledge, of course, Dynast can talk on various subjects. He has insight on various subjects. Overlooking that, I look at his response to stimuli, things that happen on the spot. His poise, his mentality, thought process, and all that. He has, the expanse of his mind's eye is where his beauty, a large measure of his beauty lies. A large measure. These are the things that help him establish, relate with Nigeria. We see what Nigeria is about. Even in the short term there, it's not easy to see. A typical person will see the hustle, will see the bribery, will see there are other things to see there. Nigeria is, there's connection there. A janitor is not a typical janitor. He can be CEO tomorrow. In the midst of all that, the height of impossibilities, when you look at it with a layman's eye, is the grandest in Nigeria. But in the midst of all that, there is so much possibility. It's possible that someone knocks on your door tomorrow and say, "What is the way forward?" Anyway, let's not go there. So that's it. Number 9. Number 10. Hooray! Number 10. Let's keep it simple and say. So I got to number 10. Kudos to Dynast. It tells us that he's an entire entity. His presence is wordy. He has a definition. If a random person all the way from the location of the Philippines can, bring these matters up, spot these aspects of him, there's something there. So number 10. That's it. Let's keep it simple and say he can see. He can see. This is very unique quality. Yes, many people look. However, can you see? What do you see? Can you see? Can you see? Dynast can see. And it's very obvious, according to me. Again, now I'm not looking at knowledge. Knowledge is generic to me. It's not something that is fanciful for me because it's generic. There are tons of people that can tell you of 100 books. There has to be an edge when it comes to knowledge. You may be knowledgeable and not be a brother. I seek brothers. I like brothers. So when you combine those two dynamics, then you become very powerful with your knowledge. If you want to be geek from now till tomorrow and you're a god, you're a small god according to yourself, unreachable, you've lost out on your human, then that's befitting of outer space. Mingle with the bots. I'm no bot, so he can see, Dynast can see. He may not be able to place, at this stage, the things that he sees, establish them as factual, but over time he will be able to because of some other qualities I mentioned, like he has maintained his human, he allows room for evolution. When you combine that to, you can see insights will begin to arrive later on. So over the course of time, insight will arrive. When Dynast is ripe enough, so it's certain, the next tier of information, once he's ripe enough, the information will begin to arrive. It will happen like a in the snap of a finger. Everything will be laid bare, but you have to be able to see. You know, so diners can see. First of all, I mentioned Nigeria again. It's not easy to see that there's something in Nigeria. Popular demand, you say Ghana, yes, but in truth, a Ghana is not Nigeria. You don't have to be there. Nowhere is Nigeria. Nigeria, they stand alone. When it comes to what is obtainable in terms of the dynamics of what constitutes human, the sceneries, the things you will see in Nigeria, you will never see anywhere in the world, anywhere, not even Ghana. You know, so he can see, he can see, and based when you look at where he's coming from, the dynamics there is different. It's different. It blurs your vision really. The natural instinct is not to be able to withstand, something foreign. Africa will become foreign to you, but except you can see, then you'll be able to, you know, transcend these illusionary barriers in reality, and it's not easy, in a place where you can't even, you don't know where you stand in society, laws everywhere. You can't apply of your human virtues, you can't exercise it. You don't even know what action is lawless or lawful anymore. You don't know. I mean, it's not easy to go to some place like Nigeria and be able to see past the superficial, and anyway, let's stop there. We'll discuss more of this in a live stream, where Dynast wants more explanation, like he sees this thing and he wants to counter it, or he wants to say, oh, what did you mean here? Then I'll just love to explain it in the live stream. So please, if you see this video, please share it with Dynast. That would be awesome. Let's stop the video here. I'm your boy Terry. You can read about me in the comments. I'm going to add in the description. I'll add a 70-minute publication that is about me, about my projects. And you can contact me as well. You can counter me. You can suggest. You can bash me, and all that in comments. Thank you for being here. I value it very much. Please share this video with Dynast. Make sure you stay awesome. My username across the internet is surpassing Google. Stay awesome. You can see I have a page here where I just upload videos related to legitimate illiteracy. And I also have a publication that you can read about me. You can read. I don't have any audience there, but I just created a page and keep filling it up. Where I go into a live stream with Dynast, I like to discuss various subjects, including things to do with, like blockchain technology. I feel that is, an arsenal that he can add to his journey, the entire movement, because he's growing a large movement. Since I found Dynast, YouTube has used its algorithm, and I got to know Travel Sister, East Love Migrates, Gina the African Superstar, Bomani, a lot, you see. So anyway, your boy Terry here. Make sure you stay awesome.